Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is Monday, November 18th, 2024. So this will cover the week of November the 11th through the 17th of 2024. Anyway, this was a pretty productive week overall. I don't really have any real complaints about it. So no progress made on Dead Rising 2 off the record this week, but that'll probably be the main focus of at least a stream or two this coming week, because got a long way to go on that game. All those medals and stuff in the other mode, and all sorts of other just miscellaneous crap to do, and mostly just focusing on the 2 or 3 sort of bigger trophies. So in terms of actual progress this week, it was made in 3 different games. The first one was Astro Bot for the PS5. I finally got this game not only platinumed, but also to 100% in a very, very long Friday night stream. So this is a pretty easy platinum trophy overall. You can do it in about 15 hours, and it was a very fun game. It was one of the best games I played this year, though to me Paper Mario 2 The Thousand Year Door remake is still going to be the number one. I will still say though that there's a few levels in this one that are really, really badly designed and definitely don't feel like they were all that well tested, because sometimes even the controls just don't really want to work exactly right on some of them, or just you seem to die in ways that you probably shouldn't. But in terms of the platinum overall, it's fairly easy, so you're going to have a few story-related trophies. All of this stuff through here is story-related and unmissable. So basically you have to clear the 5 different sort of worlds and then complete the final boss fight. Then you have to rescue all of the bots in the game, so rescue all the ones from each of the 5 areas, as well as the Lost Galaxy, which is all the extra levels. And then this is, of course, probably the hardest overall trophy in the game, because it's for beating the sort of Grandmaster challenge at the very end of the game. You can call it the same thing as like the Grandmaster Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 2, which was like a really long gauntlet of difficult obstacles that you had to get through without dying. And of course in this game you die in one hit, so that's that, except for in some of the boss fights and stuff. Then you have to find all of the puzzle pieces in the game, and you have to open up all these different areas, which you're going to do these by finding puzzle pieces as well as just completing levels of the game. So you'll unlock all those along the way. Then you have to play the gacha machine a lot, so you have to get at least 150 prizes from it. There's 169 total. You only need to get 150, but I ended up getting all 169 just in case they ever like added another DLC trophy or something that required all of them. You never really know these days. And it's not really all that hard. You can get more than enough money throughout the course of everything. So then you have to take a picture at a photo spot. You can't do this until you unlock that Safari Park area, but then you can go back and do this on pretty much any level. This one you have to wait until all 5 parts have returned, and the cover, so basically get all the parts back and then just watch it sort of sing in the crash site area. Then this one is a very specific one. It's in one of the earlier levels of the game. It's on a level where you have to spray a tree to grow it with water, but once you have grown it, you have to just keep spraying it until the trophy unlocks. It's pretty easy, it's just not one that I ever thought about getting. Then this one is on the construction derby level. You just have to hit the basketball and knock it into the goal, or the hoop, so it's not too hard. This one, the golden butterfly and apes on the loose. It takes a little while to find the exact golden butterfly the game wants you to get, because there's several of them, but it's the one that flies a little bit faster and actually is a little more shiny. This one you have to defeat all 8 ravens in the Bot of War level, and this is not particularly hard to do. I got 6 of them just by playing through the level my first time, then went back and got the last 2, so you can do it over the course of multiple playthroughs. This one you have to collect all 3 of the eggs in Dude Rating. I already had 2 of them. I'm very surprised that I missed the last one because it was kind of right along the path. This one, when you get toward the end of the game, there's going to be the Aloy level, or the level that's Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West focused, and you have to defeat 7 enemies by tricking them into running into this set of like 3 or 4 trip casters. You don't actually get it as a weapon like I thought you would. This one I ended up doing kind of by accident on a different level. When I was preparing to go for it, it was fairly easy. So just basically have one arm hit each of the 2 when you have the frog gloves and pull them back and kill them at the same time. This one is on the slow-mo casino level. You just have to use the stop time in order to win at all of the slot machines. It's fairly easy. There's only 4 of them. This one is, all you have to do is quite simply just jump up through the hoop. It's kind of right along the path, if I remember correctly. Then you get a bunch of crash site specific trophies. So for this one, you have to have Nathan Drake and Laura Croft in the same picture. Basically, you have to wait until you see Laura being chased by the dinosaur in the background, which is a little bit RNG-ish. And then this one, there's just a specific character that you have to get hit by the hammer, or the axe, whatever it's called. It's fairly straightforward once you know what to do, but it's over in the God of War area. Then this one I did a long time ago. I just touched it by accident and got the trophy, which was nice. Then this one you have to dance with Crash Bandicoot. This one's fairly easy. There's a guy under one of those Japanese gate things, but I'm unfortunately blanking out on the name of them, even though, of course, I played Ghost of Tsushima, so you would think I would remember. And you just have to keep punching him until he drops everything. This one, there are two Street Fighter characters that are fighting each other in the crash site. You just have to stand in between them and let each of them hit you and the opponent at some point, and you'll eventually get this one. It just takes a couple of minutes. This one, you just have to break a bot wall, so when the bots go to build like a wall that you can climb up, just knock it down. This one, you just need to knock down one of the upper bots on one of these towers, pretty much anywhere, and you're good to go. Then this one, you can I think you just have to keep running into everyone, and I think if you hit triangle, they'll all come to you. So just dance with 100 of them at once. You have over 300 in the game, so you can get this pretty early on. And this one, you just have to climb to the top of the mothership, which you can't do until you've cleared, like, at least 3 of the levels, probably. I think it was 3. It might have been 4 of the whole worlds. So, fantastic game overall. Just like I said, a few really, really annoying levels, namely that very last one, and the one where you have to use the duck to get over the lava. It's one of the challenge levels. And then there is the DLC. So, I got all the DLC trophies in the course of about 20 minutes. It actually didn't give me like any trouble whatsoever. So yeah, what was the first one? So 48, 41 to 56. So it only took me 15 minutes to get all 6 of these trophies. So I'm obviously not the best at these kind of levels, but I got through most of them within like 1 to 2 tries, because I have seen videos at least of them. So you have to rescue at least 1 bot in each of these 5 speedrun levels. And that's really not anything to worry about. Just, again, rescue 1 bot is just for beating it in a reasonable amount of time. Then you may have to go back and replay each level to get the second bot, which requires a better time. They do stack, so if you get a good enough time on your first playthrough, you'll end up getting both bots for the level. So it's not too hard. Like I said, a couple of the levels took multiple tries. I don't remember which ones gave me the most trouble, because Let It Slide, I think, was fairly easy. Building Speed wasn't too hard. And then Rising Heat, I think, took several tries. That's the newest one. That one's probably the hardest one. So, yeah, I got through the game, had a lot of fun with it. I'll be able to do a trophy video of it in the future. And speaking of trophy videos, the Clock Tower video is probably like 90% of the way done, so it'll be out this week for sure. I don't know if it'll come out during the week or on the weekend. I'll see how quickly I can get it finished. But it's nearly done, so that'll be the next one up. And then we can start working probably on Fallout 4's video. So, next up, we have Black Ops 6, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2's second DLC, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, 27 out of 44 trophies obtained. So currently there's about 3 campaign missions left in the game, because we completed the ground control mission. It's the only one I finished during the one stream that I did of this game this past week. So then we just have to complete Under the Radar and then the last 2 missions. Wow, those have the same percentage. Those must be like back-to-back or something. That's what I'm assuming, because they have the exact same percentage. So we're pretty near the end of the game, though. And then there were no miscellaneous trophies that I could get on... Well, I probably could have gotten this one on Veteran, but I didn't quite pull it off, so I'm going to have to go back and do it on Recruit. But that's okay, because I was kind of expecting that. Because that one's a little bit tough to get on Veteran if you look at the videos and stuff of it. The Checkmate one shouldn't be too hard, even if I have to go back for it on Recruit. And this one I should be able to do even on Veteran. And then the upgrades, I'm still quite a few $1,000s away, so it'll require a bit of money grinding. And then this one, of course, will be done in the final mission. And that's it for the campaign. So, Prestige 1, I'm currently a level 51 or 52, so I'm very close to prestiging for the first time. I earned a Mastery Badge, which I'm not entirely sure how I got it, but it's on one of the shotguns, the pump-action shotgun, and got it in Zombie, so it wasn't really much of a problem. I'm about halfway through the Opal camo. I just finished the pump action shotgun, so now I got to use the other shotgun. So I'm halfway through that, so I'm going to get it long before we finish the rest of the zombies trophies. So let's see, I got featured in the best play 3 times, so, oh wait, that was last week, never mind. Then this one, I'm now the high enough level that I can go ahead and get this trophy, so I'll do that probably on a future stream of this game. Probably a couple more streams of this game just to clean up the rest of the campaign, this last multiplayer trophy, and maybe a couple of the zombies trophies. And then, let's see, now we get to the zombies mode, so I did go ahead and do this Terminus trophy, but I did it off stream, I just recorded it myself. Just because Terminus is definitely the harder map, it's definitely a little more complicated to navigate, and with this other one, I can't figure this one out. Like, I know you're supposed to swim out to a certain island or something that's marked, but, like, I kept trying to swim out to it, and I never found whatever it is you're supposed to find around it, and then just kept getting killed by something that popped up out of the water. So I need to look at an actual video of that one, to be honest. Now, for the Easter egg, I have been told that even if you play in directed mode, which is sort of the easier mode, it still unlocks the trophy. It just doesn't unlock a couple of the other rewards in-game, which is totally fine. So you can do it in directed mode, so I'm probably going to end up doing that. I don't know exactly when I'll do that. I might try to stream both of these trophies at some point. Liberty Falls is completely done, though, and I managed to get the Easter egg done on my first try on that stream. It was a little bit hectic right at the end. People gave me some really good strategies for it, though, like sucking the last of the statues, the figurines in, so you could use the supervillain mode while you were in the battle. And that's tied into this trophy. You basically just have to suck up 9 or 10 figurines with the jet gun. It's pretty easy. Now, this one gave me a significant amount of trouble. This one took me at least 20 tries. And basically, you have to score 300 in the bowling minigame. So to do the bowling minigame, you have to run around the map and shoot 5 pairs of bowling shoes. And then that transports you into the bowling alley. And then you have to hit 30 zombies in 2 minutes with your bowling ball. I just found it extremely inconsistent. Like, sometimes it would feel like the ball was fully charged, but it would only touch one zombie. Or sometimes it would just, like, barely miss all the zombies in a single row. And if you miss, like, even one throw, you're mostly screwed. And when I did eventually get it, I only ended up with, like, 31 points at the very last second. So it was way too close for comfort. And the bigger problem I have with this trophy isn't necessarily the challenge of doing it. It's the fact that if you fail, you can't just go and redo it the next round. You have to wait a whole 5 rounds to attempt it a second time, and you can only attempt it 3 times in a single game, which I think is really, really stupid. I think it should have been possible to do on every single round. I assume it's because you get some rewards if you score reasonably well, but either way, I still think it's something that probably should have been allowed to do. Even like every other round would have been so much better because it would have taken fewer games to get. So then 100 kills using mutant injections. This one is pretty easy, but it was weird because I'm pretty sure I had 100 already, and at the end of that mutant injection, it didn't give me the trophy, but then the next time I popped the mutant injection, the second that I entered the whole mutant mode, it gave me the trophy, so I don't really know. Maybe I was just like 1 off and that killed one more enemy or something. Come back to this one in a second. The elite zombies are only the abominations and one of the specific zombie types on Terminus, and I'd assume I'm at like 20 of these probably by now. The Manglers don't count. So I should be at like 20 or so of these, which isn't great, but it's going to easily come along the way to this trophy. This is one of those bronze trophies that's really insulting for being a bronze trophy. It should have been a gold trophy just for the insane amount of time that it takes, because even extracting on round 21 or even round 26, in my last 2 games that I've played of this, each time it only gave me like 1 full part of the augment. So because each augment is broken up into 6 parts, and you have to research all 6 parts of 10 different augments to get the trophy. And I did stamina up first because it was the first perk I had available to do it for, and then I'm now currently working on Juggernog. So stamina up is done, so I'm done with one of them. Juggernog, I had 2 matches in a row where I basically did like round 21 extraction and a round 26 extraction, and I'm just a little bit over 2 out of the 6 done. So that tells you just how insanely long this trophy takes. Now, yes, you can use double XP to speed it up, but I don't have like a whole ton of double XP tokens. So yeah, it's not something that I'm looking forward to. And again, I don't really understand why they thought this was a necessary trophy. It should have been research all augments for 1 item, or even like 2 items, or even like 3 items. I mean, 3 items still been a little bit annoying, but not that grindy. So yeah, it really should have been fewer items, especially given the fact that it's a bronze trophy. It's not the rarest trophy in the game though, that is actually really surprising that that's not the rarest trophy in the game. Because this trophy's super easy. I did it on my first try, and then is there anything else below, what did it say, 0.4 or 0.2? Is there anything else that's a 0.1 on this trophy list, or is that the rarest? This one is a 0.1%, which is, I mean, that's probably just because most people don't play Call of Duty for the campaign. So there's several campaign trophies that are that rare, but that's probably just more because most people don't play Call of Duty for the campaign. They mostly play for the zombies and the multiplayer, so I guess that's not that surprising. But I'm very surprised the augments are more common than a few of these trophies, because it takes like probably 50 hours of grinding, which is it's just as bad as Modern Warfare 3. Or maybe even a little bit worse. And then, the final game we worked on this week was a big one, Clock Tower Rewind for the PS4. And as of today, currently, I am the fastest achiever for the PS4 version. So there's one PS4 version that has a fastest time of like 18 hours or something. That wasn't the version I did. I did the version that had a fastest time of 3 hours and 23 minutes. I managed to complete this platinum in 2 hours and 48 minutes, so sub 3 hour, and it's the only trophy list for this game where there's a sub 3 hour time, so I was able to do it. It really wasn't all that difficult, but that's partially because I actually got really good RNG this playthrough, which is extremely uncommon for me to actually have good luck with stuff. So the first trophy I got was not actually one of these. I decided to get one of the RNG trophies done first, being this one, because this is a 100% RNG trophy, and it's probably the most RNG trophy in the game, along with using the rope. So I went ahead and knocked this out first just to get it done, get one out of the way. Then went ahead and completed these 2 trophies for encountering Scissorman for the first time. So then, let's see, what were the next trophies I got? Defeated a parrot, which was, I would have done that first. Yeah, I dealt with the parrot first. And then, let's see, I used the pesticide pretty quickly after, entered the West building pretty quickly after, destroyed the ghostly doll and the undead threat. I kept getting really, really good RNG with certain things occurring, like with getting the taxidermy room on both my S and A playthroughs instead of the mannequin room, which sped things up. I managed to get this trophy. I got the first time I ever went to the music room because Scissorman was hiding in the ceiling, as well as the fact that the scepter was the item I was going for that matter. This was, of course, on the A ending playthrough, and then this was for the S ending playthrough. This was S ending as well, near the end of the S ending, and then S ending trophies. So what I ended up doing, though, specifically was I went for the H ending first, which is straightforward, just see Laura die and then run to the garage and escape. Presumably escape, except you're not really escaping. And I did that and managed to get the H ending done, then immediately hit continue on the main menu, and that allowed me to jump right back in at the garage and go ahead and finish the S ending. So I did the S ending first with no issues, even though it's the most complicated. Then I managed to get the A ending, and I really think you guys might have been correct when you were saying something about it being as ridiculous as accidentally scaring the crow in the bird's nest hallway if you have to get the West Wing key out of there. That might very well somehow be what voids the A ending. Because the first time I went for the A ending, I was having to try to rescue Laura anyway. It wasn't because I had seen Anne die first. So there were very much a possibility that I screwed up somewhere, so it's not really that big a deal. But the second time I went for the A ending, I was specifically going for it and didn't think I should have missed it. But in terms of the actual trophies, that was the order I did those in. Then I did the D, E, and F endings. You can save scum those and do them all in the same sort of playthrough pretty easily, so that actually wasn't too bad. And then the cat scare, I got at a good time. Like the very first time I found that extra bathroom in the West Wing, the cat was in there, so knocked that out super early. And then this one I went ahead and did on like my B or C playthrough, just when it didn't matter if the other characters were dead or not. So this one's the one where you go into the first foyer and try to go across the balcony. Then entering the courtyard's an unmissable trophy. The ham is part of the A ending. The pesticide is required on pretty much every playthrough. This is a trophy that you get for seeing Anne get thrown out the window, so I got this on, would have gotten this on both the B and the C ending playthroughs. Then the West Building, that's unmissable. Making use of the rope is the other super RNG heavy trophy, and I was not able to get it on my S ending playthrough, though I did finally get to see the scene where Jennifer lifts up the plank and that causes Scissor Man to fall through the floor. I never actually managed to make that one happen on the PS5 version, but I did manage to make it happen on the PS4 version, so that was actually pretty neat. So this time around, I got this on my A ending playthrough, I believe it was. It was either my A ending playthrough or my DEF playthrough. It was one or the other. Because even though there's 9 endings, you can get the platinum in 5 playthroughs. Combine the S ending with the H ending, then do the A ending. Combine the B or C ending with the G ending. Then do the other one of those endings. So that's 4 playthroughs and you already have 6 of your endings done. And then just do one more playthrough where you do the D, E, and F endings together. This is a story trophy you get for the doll room. The undead thread is required on the S and A endings to get the key for the hutch room. This one, Scissor Man just has to spawn in the piano room. This one, you either have to drink the drink in the kitchen or Miss Mary has to give you one. This one is part of the S ending. It's unmissable. This one's unmissable for most endings. It's finding either the idol or the scepter. This is unmissable once you get to the caves, as is this trophy. And then these two are for getting any of the endings where Jennifer survives her night. So the top one requires you to get either the S, A, B, or C ending. This one, I think you can also get the G ending and get it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And I did the S ending before going for the G ending, so I don't know if that's true or not. This is for the H ending. Again, get all 9 endings for this trophy. And then the last 2 trophies, though, I will say these 2 are buggy. And the Dead End trophy bugged out on me on the PS5 version, whereas the Breather trophy did not on the PS5 version. I got it the first try, but the Dead End one didn't unlock for me on the PS5. But this time around, the Dead End trophy unlocked for me when I intentionally went for it early in the game, and the Take a Breather trophy didn't unlock until half an hour in. So I legitimately don't know exactly why that is. Now, I have a theory that for the Dead End trophy, the reason why it didn't unlock, it may only unlock if Jennifer gets down to red health or even orange health and then gets killed by Scissor Man, because that's what it looked like happened on my PS5 save file of the game. And that's what I specifically set up for the PS4 version early on. I don't know. It's such a janky old game. Who knows? But then the Take a Breather one, I really don't know why that one didn't unlock. So yeah, both of those are buggy. And I also noticed that one of the other trophies, the one for the doll, this one actually unlocked just by entering the room on the PS5 version. But on the PS4 version, I had to get rid of the doll. So I honestly don't know. I guess there's just a few little bugs with the game, or just with the Rewind version at least. But either way, the Platinum Trophy is pretty easy. If you know what you're doing, if you know how the game works, once you have like a mental map or just actually an actual map of the whole in-game world and you understand how everything works, you can do this Platinum pretty quickly. Now, can you do it in under 3 hours? That's going to depend a little bit on RNG. Like I said, I had insanely good RNG on this whole entire playthrough, so I got really lucky. If you don't get as lucky, you might not be able to get under 3 hours, but sub 4 hours, even with very bad RNG, is completely possible. So if you know what you're doing, you can easily get this Platinum under 4 hours. I would say it's about a 2 out of 10 in difficulty just because of that RNG element, or a 3 out of 10, especially for someone who's never really played this game before or seen anything about it. So yeah, it was a very good time. It's now the second time that I've been the fastest achiever for a game, along with the PS4 version of Thrillville. And if I ever wanted to figure out what the other PS4 version is, I could go in and do it as a fastest time, because again, its fastest time is like 18 hours or something, so I could just very casually do that one, no problem. So let's go ahead and sync up. So with that, level 884, 60%, 29,508 total trophies, 847 platinums, 5,644 golds, 7,943 silvers, 15,074 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. Well, the main two games that I want to play, of course, are going to continue to be Black Ops 6, because we got a long way to go in it. Though probably only going to need a couple more streams of it to get those last 3 campaign missions done, those handful of miscellaneous campaign trophies done, and that last multiplayer trophy, and maybe the 2 Terminus trophies as well, but the remaining trophies are just going to be so grindy that I'm going to do them off screen. Probably until whenever I get very close, like I get, maybe halfway through whatever my final augment is, and then I will stream the conclusion of the game, going for the last half of the last augment. But prior to that, I probably won't be streaming much of it, so probably only a couple more streams and we'll be done with a vast majority of Black Ops 6's trophies. Other than that, Dead Rising 2 off the record is another big focus. I mean, I don't particularly enjoy the game, but I do want to get it done because I started it. It's not overly hard, I'd just rather get it done sooner rather than later in case there's ever online issues. Now, along with those, I actually forgot to mention this on either of my streams, but I actually got a free game, and let me see if I can find it saved in my email. So yeah, I actually got a code for a free code for a game that I know really nothing about. It's called Stunt Paradise. So I got keys for both the PS4 and PS5 version. The embargo was November 14th, so that's kind of why I forgot about it, because I got the email like a week before that. So, yeah, that's going to be... They say that it has easy trophies that take 10 to 15 minutes on PS4 and PS5. So, what I might end up doing is, at any point this week, I might end up streaming that game on the PS4 or PS5 version on my alt account. Purely because, just in case they decide to go in and, add DLC trophies later. But at least then I get to show it off. And it is a free game, so I mean, I'm certainly not going to reject a free game. Yeah, I just pulled it up on PSNProfiles, so it looks like it doesn't have any other versions. It's just PS4 and PS5, no regional stacks. Okay, yeah, it says complete the first level, destroy the police car in the first level, perform a double backflip and land on your wheels, perform a double front flip and land on your wheels, blow up your car, sink your car in the water, use nitro 3 times, earn 5,000 coins, buy a new car, get 5 stars, complete 10 levels. Okay, yeah, seems like a pretty easy trophy list. I guess just the main thing, another reason I don't really want to play it on my main account right now is because you look at those numbers, I'm at 847, and I want to make sure platinum number 850 is something good. So either Dead Rising 2 off the record, or maybe even the PS4 version of Black Ops 6, because all the grindy stuff either auto-pops or requires you to do one more thing for it to auto-pop. So it's nowhere near as time-consuming. It'll only take probably 30 hours at most. So it's sort of like the way Cold War was. Now, people are saying, though, that the RCXD double kill trophy's glitched on the PS4, and I don't know if they fixed it yet, so that's always wonderful. So it might end up being Dead Rising 2 off the record, or, something else might come up. Who knows, maybe LEGO Star Wars 2 will end up getting a random trophy list out of nowhere. Same with Thrillville off the rails, because we're still waiting on that. I mean, honestly, at this point, who knows? We're also getting Resistance 1 and 2 streamable soon, which is pretty cool. So I'm assuming that those will have trophy lists that are different from the original games, especially with the second one being the only one in the series that's fully unobtainable. So, yeah, again, the main goal is Black Ops 6, Dead Rising 2 off the record, and probably stream whatever that game is that I got the key for. Now, along with all that, you guys might have noticed previously that I have a lot of shovelware games currently on here. This is not for a dumpster dive stream. I'm not doing one of those for at least another couple of months. Those are, every 7 or 8 months. Also, by the way, this one, the only reason I purchased this one in particular was as punishment in case I failed the Clock Tower challenge, but I ended up beating it really quite easily, so don't need it, but it can play very well into the video idea I have for everything. So there's a very real possibility that I might be doing a stream this coming weekend, or even Friday, that is going to involve many, many shovelware games. So, yeah, and it's stuff that won't occur on my main account because I'm not going to pollute my main account with that crap unless it's something like stroking the dick for failing a trophy challenge or something. That's sort of a different situation. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. There's a couple other things I need to do to get prepped for that, as well as there's a lot of stuff I would need to pick up from the store at some point. So, we will see about exactly how well that works out and if I can, make it happen. If it's not this week, it might not be for a couple more weeks after that, because this week should be mostly normal with schedule-wise. But next week probably won't be because it's Thanksgiving, going home on that Wednesday, so we'll have Thanksgiving, and then me and Lizard Guy are hanging out a few times, so probably won't be a very normal schedule that week. And then 2 weeks after that, me and my family would go on our yearly vacation or bi-yearly vacation, so that's going to be another week up there where there's not going to be a lot going on at some point. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with everything. So, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't done so already. Let me know down in the comments how many games you've been the fastest achiever on or the first achiever on. I have never been the first achiever. I've been second on a couple of games, but I've never been first. But I'm now at least the fastest achiever for 2 games, which I can take pride in. So, thank you all for watching, and see y'all back here this week for some more trophy content.